Hello and welcome back to My Mom's Basement and another Stranger Things recap, or what we would have tweeted, for Season 4, Episode 5, The Nina Project. This is another good episode. I would say not quite as good as Episode 4, but the opening of it immediately reminded me of Reservoir Dogs. There's someone in the back of a car bleeding out. They're like, ah! They're like, it's okay. We're going to save you. We're going to be with you.
Poor fucking Argyle, by the way. Guy thinks he's delivering. Like, there's nothing better than being at work and having to go like your buddy's house or something like that. You're like,
Yeah.
oh man, I'm gonna deliver some pizzas, probably smoke a J with Jonathan, and then just go back to work and ride the high until you do cool California kitchen at night. Not so fast, my friend, because we're in the 80s, where the government's always the enemy.
He's one of the best additions they ever could have added to Stranger Things, I think.
Oh, Stranger Things does not miss adding characters, because even if they're like shitty characters, they end up being good in the end. The dude who loved Slurpees last year, R.I.P. and peace, the Russian dude. At first, I was like, I don't know. Like, I was torn. I was like gutted when he died at the end of that.
I know, and he had such a good line, Argyle, in this episode where the pen, they're like, wait a minute, the pen. They unscrew it, they throw the thing out, and something falls out of it, and he's just like so stoned, and he's like, something fell out of that pen, man.
Such a stoner thing where you notice the littlest stuff, but people who aren't all fucked up don't. I love that. I did think the pen was a little much. I'm like, I don't like the fact that they figured it out. I thought was a little much. I was like, come on, guys, we didn't really need to do that, did we?
That was a bit much. Going into the intro, Lieutenant Sanders, the like colonel that's going after 11, I wrote he would make a great Martian Manhunter. That's who he reminded me of. Like in the DC universe, I was like, God damn, he'd be good.
He'd be great as one of the buffoon FBI agents from Die Hard. He's just like that fucking that motherfucker. Those motherfuckers are all over the place in these 80s franchises.
I loved the box in the desert looking thing that they took 11 to, like the headquarters, where it was just like a little tiny thing in the desert. They're like, this is it. They go underground and it's like almost a Batcave-esque thing where it's this entire operation. And I got a lot of Black Mirror vibes from this episode. Are you a Black Mirror guy?
I watched, I think, like the first, I don't know if I watched the whole season. I watched like the first half season. I liked it. I enjoyed a lot of the stuff. I thought it was great. I know there was one season that kind of fell off. I think as I was watching it, then the world turned into Black Mirror. And I was like, yeah, I'm living a Black Mirror episode. I'm not going to watch anymore right now. But great.
Just like some of the visuals. Yeah. Some of the stuff with 11 with her mind games, which I said were Moon Knight all over again in this one. But yeah, it was just, there were certain things about it where in a good way, because I love Black Mirror. I was like, damn, like this is kind of Black Mirror-esque in a Stranger Things way.
Yeah, my wife thought it was going to be Area 51. That was her guess at first. I was like, we're going to start dabbling. And the one things I do like about Stranger Things is that it does kind of separate, like Hawkins is a fake town. Like I do like that they don't go too much into the real stuff. I was like, we're going to start telling what the truth about Area 51 is. My brain is not going to be able to handle all this shit. So I kind of like that it was something different. Hand up again. I thought Murray was dead going into this season. I thought Papa was dead.
Yeah,
Papa,
me too.
Right? Okay. Thank God.
I'm with you. But I didn't get the recap. I still missed out on that season 1 through 3 recap. This is like a first season for me. It's proving how bad my memory is.
You want to get fucked up? It was because I made the note here how young 11 looks like a shrunken version of herself in the beginning. Like it looked, I didn't really like that. I feel like they just a
little off.
Yeah, they did the whole thing where you did on the computer. You just take the upper right hand little box and you just shrink it down. That's what it felt like. And then that was 7 years ago. Season 1 of Stranger Things.
That's crazy.
Isn't that fucking nuts, man? So again, Papa dies or quote unquote died in season 1 in my mind. That's 7 years ago. At this rate, like I don't remember what happened 7 years. I don't even know what 7. If you had said, Clem, how many years ago? Like what year is 7 years ago? I'd say 2005. That's not even close. It's not even close. I was just about to say 7 years ago is actually 2012. Again, not even close. That's 10 years ago. You fucking moron. That's very easy to do. 2015. The New York Mets made the World Series 7 years. You have
a 7-year-old daughter?
God damn it. Technically 7.5. She's a 2014 baby, so it doesn't matter. But so 7 years ago, I've been a father. Oh my God, Bob, why did you do this to me again? I just got over realizing I'm 40. I've had a daughter for longer than Stranger Things has been on the air. Oh my God, Bob. Yeah. I mean, first you fucking get me with the mozzarella sticks and the peanut butter, and then you're just constantly twisting the dagger in me. Holy shit. So yeah, 7 years ago, it did kind of like look weird, but I guess we can all be proud that, like, all right, not proud. We should all don't hang your head if you thought Papa was dead. And maybe they killed him and they're just like, they're not going to remember that little detail of like a very important character being dead. Did he like get bloody or something? And they just like, we think he dies?
I don't even.
I'm not even going to go back and check. I don't
probably
care.
Just escapes. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess so.
I don't know. Maybe a Darth Vader. He spins out at the end of season 1. I don't know.
Exactly.
I wrote like working with him is like I've made this reference a lot on the podcast, but we're X-Men working with Magneto and X2. I love that when it's like we're working with the fucking villain to get a common goal here. This is crazy.
Magneto was the king of that move too. Like the X-Men always had to go back to Magneto. Like I don't even consider Magneto like a bad guy. I feel him like a very dark shade of gray, basically at this point, because he does switch sides. Thing is, he does some really horrid shit when he is in that black side of it. But when he comes to the light, and again, it's just having a dude who's awesome on your side. Even if it's like in a video game, and you get one of the bad guy characters and the dude has like 1,000,000 hit points and he just fucks everything up. That's what it is. And like Papa's not that good, but that's what Magneto's like. Yeah. And that's a great comparison, Bob.
Loved the scene where Max starts drawing all of the things that she saw in her visions. And then Nancy comes over and says, "Oh, I recognize this," and starts piecing everything together. And it's the big house. I love a good puzzle put together scene in a movie or especially TV show like this where it's like kind of a throwback. I really enjoyed that. Another note I made for this episode, too many bugs.
That's going to be, I think, a note every single episode for our guy Bob. I'm with you on the puzzle. I thought the ransom note that was sent in like the Russian doll was going to be our. I always think, what's this season's Christmas lights?
The lights.
Yeah, and then they had it. I forgot what it was in season 2, and I think season 3 they even had something that was kind of like that. And I was again season 4. I'm like, oh, here it is. It's going to be the puzzle. Nope, Nancy figured that shit out right quick.
We do get that in this season, though. Stay tuned for later recaps. We get like season 4's version of that.
Yep, that's a fair point. The blonde helper at the hospital, I call him Fuckface. I don't know his name. He's just Fuckface. He's on the sus list. The sus list consists of the guidance counselor, old Fuckface here, and it would have been Steve Rogers if you didn't talk me out of it just like before we were recording for season.
Well, that's what I do for my
4.
guy. Yeah, I talk him out of those risky situations. I'm like his lawyer. I'm a very good lawyer. I'm like a daredevil.
Yeah, you are. So the sus list, Miss Kelly, Fuckface. Yep. Is there anyone on your sus list? I mean, Yuri would have ended up on the sus list, but he's kind of like Yuri was on the anti-sus list. He was like on the trust list, and
nobody other. I think that's a good sus list right there.
Yeah.
Papa, at this point, I still didn't know like what to think about Papa.
Papa definitely on the sus list. So it's Miss Kelly, Fuckface, and Papa. Those are the 3 on the sus list, in my opinion. I'm with you, Bob.
11's repeat mental asylum puzzles that she was going through, like I said, were Moon Knight all over again. It was also kind of her dark cave on Dagobah. It was also mixed with the Matrix too, with like the way that they were looking at her doing the puzzles, and they were like, "Is she gonna do it? Is she gonna get out of it? She's in the pool." Like it's season 1 all over again. The plane, crazy plane scene where the plane's going down. I wrote they needed PFT to land that plane. He's so confident that if a plane would go down, he would be able to land it. And then the scene where Vecna comes for the kid in the water, getting killed by Vecna in the water at nighttime, 1,000 times worse than any other Vecna death, in my opinion. There's something terrifying about the dark water like that, where it's just like an abyss. God, that was scary.
Is it wrong that I was kind of like, all right, I hope this kid gets killed here so his other friend could see that it's not Eddie who's doing all the killing? So it's really fucked up because I had nothing against the kid. He seemed like a perfectly nice guy. I hated the crash landing. I'll be honest. I just did not like the whole thing where they're able to crash land the airplane.
A little, Indiana Jones-esque when they like jump out of the plane and with the raft or whatever.
Yeah. And again, if they had written something into it where I don't know why Winona. Maybe she fucking was like a plot pilot in her ex-life. Where did you get that? Where did you get that $40,000 from, Winona? Where did you get it from? Maybe she was like a cocaine cowboy. Well, this is the 80s, right? Maybe she's flying. She's doing George Young. She's flying in all the drugs from Columbia. Bob, tell me you've seen Blow.
Oh yeah, I've seen Blow. Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, we're back on track here.
You've made enough Blow references on the podcast where I would have had to admit that by now.
Or I've just pieced together the entire movie from.
Is it the mom from Blow is like your least favorite movie character of all time?
I got so mad. Our boy Handsome Hank, he tweeted out a quote from Ray Liotta in Blow as the dad, and I forgot. He's such like a nice guy, and then I was like, and he married that fucking All right. Earmuffs, kids. Cunt of a fucking woman. That it got me angry all over again. So yeah, if Mayona was moving some blow, I'm trying to think of a fun name for cocaine. What's a good nickname for cocaine?
Baby powder. I don't know. I just made that up.
Bob, come on. What kind of a rock and roll star are you? You mean baby powder? Oh, god damn it.
Got any
leave your best names for cocaine in the comments and let Bob learn.
We going to Vermont.
People there we go.
Going to Vermont. Want to go skiing.
Yuri's Fish and Fly. That was a great name for like the store / flying place. I don't know how else to describe it. The clock. When the clock peers out at the church, that was a LOL funny moment. It was so preposterous. It was just like hey. Ding dong. And again, I think it's one of those things that if this came out weekly, which I wish Stranger Things did, it would have just been like meme to death, and it would be like, what the fuck is going on here? The clock is just sneaking around at church. There was the moment where I don't know if it was Hopper or someone else, where it just says sighs loudly. The older you get, the more you rely on a good sigh to make your point for you, because you're just like and they're like, oh, he's getting too old for this shit. And then I had to ask this, Bob, you've kind of taken over this series, I've noticed, with being good with the sports comparisons. Give me a UFC comp for Murray, who we think is going to be this straight up chump of a fighter. He's trying to get his black belt against like 12-year-olds, but he goes, my fingers are like arrows, my arms like iron, my feet like spears. And then he beats the fucking shit out of a Russian. Like, being a Russian in Yuri, I'm like, oh, he has to at least know how to fight pretty well, because all Russians have to be tough. What's the UFC comp for Murray, who kind of comes out of nowhere and takes the fucking bad guy down?
There's a couple people I could go with. I'm going to go with a guy named Roy Nelson. Why don't you Google Roy Nelson live on the podcast?
Yeah,
he's a guy that I would say you look at and you go, never in a million years could he be a good fighter. But he was. He's, at this point, no longer. I don't think he's fighting anymore. But what do you think about Roy Nelson? Roy Nelson
has
Big Country, they call him.
A body similar to mine. I know why he has the name Big Country.
With a sweet mullet, too. You're like, that guy?
Yep. All his pictures, he has his shirt up like around his boobs, and he's like rubbing his belly in multiple pictures.
Yeah, that was his move, yeah.
Roy Nelson. Yeah, so I if I saw this guy, I think if you're like, Roy Nelson got into a fight, you showed me his picture, I'd be like, oh, did he get in a fight at McDonald's or something? It's like, no, He's a professional fighter, and he kicks ass apparently.
Yeah. So I'll go with Roy Nelson.
And he's from Las Vegas, Big Country, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I would not have guessed he did Brazilian Jiu. I didn't know you could do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and have a belly. I thought that was like against.
Oh no, you can.
Is that the Gracie's? Is the Gracie's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? Wow, I didn't think the Gracie's even allow people to have bellies to incorporate their thing.
Well, it helps get rid of the belly, the Jiu-Jitsu.
There you go. Well, it didn't work for our boy Big Country, but I love him anyway. No. And he'd be my favorite fighter, but I guess he's retired now. Oh, last thing, the nostalgia nook, as what I call it. So I got one good nostalgic thing from this episode. SpaghettiOs. You saw the old school SpaghettiOs right there. I think Eddie's eating them. What is the Bob Fox take on SpaghettiOs? Because we're learning a lot about you this series so far, Bob.
I love SpaghettiOs. It might expose me as like, you have a trash palate, white trash, blah, 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 blah. People like to say that. No. I don't care. I love SpaghettiOs. My mom would buy them for me and my sister, and we love them. My mom was disgusted by us eating them. A true Italian.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me? You're eating spaghetti out of a can? Like, gross. Still, though, no, we still get them. Yeah. Love SpaghettiOs.
Okay. I am not a fan of SpaghettiOs, but it's more because I just don't like the sweetness of the sauce. Yeah. Like, if there was another mass-produced like food, and it was just always, when I was a kid, I'm sure I loved them, but at some point I think I got sick of SpaghettiOs, and I just like can't even like smell the sauce without getting a little queasy. But as a parent, I appreciate the shit out of it. I'm sure like a lot of parents growing up. Eggos. I was never a big Eggo guy. Eggos have gotten my kids. Like, my kids would have starved to death by now.
You're not a big Eggo guy. Eggos are delicious.
Because I love homemade pancakes and waffles. It's kind of like with the sauce, too. Like, I and the Podfathers, I always joke about how I love jarred sauce. I fucking despise jarred sauce. I make my own sauce. It's one of the few things I do well in the kitchen. And I'm me and Mama Fox should have like a little Sunday dinner. We'll do some sauce together, make some meatballs, some sausage. I didn't realize Mama Fox was that kind of she's a killer in the kitchen like that though.
Yeah. Oh, big time. Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. So SpaghettiOs, personally wasn't a fan, but I'm sure that just got so many young parents in the 80s through just like feeding their kids. I know Kate still like hammers down SpaghettiOs, which makes me love her anyway. That's gonna be my last note of the episode. Shout out Kate. She's just a fucking best.
Yeah, shout out Kate. Yeah. All right, that was it for Stranger Things episode 5, The Nina Project, and we will
Oh,
be
what
back.
the fuck does Nina mean? Do we
Oh
know what
yeah,
Nina means?
I don't know. I don't
I
know what that means.
I'll spoiler. We
Nina
watched to the
Simone,
end.
good singer.
I have no idea what Nina means. So okay, as long as I'm not the only person, or it just went over my head. But yeah, leave your favorite
Probably went
comments.
over both of our heads.
Yeah, exactly. I guess
Leave it
it's
in the
not that hard.
comments if you know what Nina means.
Yeah, leave it in the comments if you know what Nina means, or your favorite scene from the episode. Your favorite scene was?
You know what? I did like the mental puzzles with 11 because I like a good mystery in a TV show, and this was a big mystery.
Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one. I guess mine was, I think like you had said, I think like you had said earlier, like the beginning where they're just in the back seat and just
Yeah,
chaos going down, and it's like the old school car. It just gives you those warm '80s ish vibes.
almost like a Pizza Planet car.
Yes, I was saying the same thing when we first saw the pizza car. So
Yeah.
great call.
All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow for an episode 6 recap.